name is Zhana, so it's spelled with Z but pronounced a little bit different.
Hmm.
And I'm at Pilates Difference, that's my brand name. And I'm in Milton.
Oh,
Serve in
Milton.
Milton, yeah, Mississauga, that's close to Milton, and a little bit to the north of Halton Hills and Georgetown.
Very nice. The is there a lot of Pilates studios in that area? Because everyone thinks Toronto for Pilates. So what happens west of Toronto in the Pilates world?
We used to have one studio in Milton, but after the COVID, it closed down, which is very sad.
Hmm.
I know a number of instructors and the lady who used to run it, Shauna. So yeah, that was the only studio in Milton. There are Pilates, like mat Pilates classes offered by the town. I think there is one studio in Georgetown
Okay,
with the Pilates equipment and everything. Yeah, not
okay,
too many.
not too many. And how's business been for you?
It's been a change,
Nice.
especially like with transitioning online with my classes and clients, and yeah, it's definitely a learning curve for me, and yeah, I'm so grateful for the all the support that I had from my clients. They stayed with me. They were on their trainings, and yeah, they didn't want to compromise it.
Oh, great. Did you have a lot of online classes going on before this happened?
No, none.
None at all. Okay.
No.
So it's funny, eh, like this becomes like that part of your business. I don't know about you, but like I had some going on, but that for me it was like, okay, now's the chance to really ramp this up and make this part of my business once we're back in the studio. So was that the same for you where you felt like this is a good opportunity to get this part of my business running?
Yeah, I think so because I thought about it for a while, but I never actually had a chance to explore that online, opportunity. And actually, my clients were um, emailing me and texting like, "Okay, let's do classes online." And I was getting back to them, "Okay, let me figure out,
Yes, let's learn and then
let me figure out the Zoom thing and everything."
mhm.
Yeah, so they were kind of pushing me, "Let's do this online."
That's great. It's good to have that support. Then you know they're going to be gracious too as you mess up and then you have connection breakdowns and all that stuff that happens too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, nice. So, tell me, how did you find Pilates?
I actually done Pilates myself. I started going to the group classes just after I had my second child, and it was like the evening class. It was in a group. It was a time for me just to, have some self-care time, my personal time away from the home. And
Mm,
yeah, I really felt the difference in my body, like, and especially recovering after the pregnancy, and seeing where my weaknesses are. And I wanted to get a little bit stronger. So I really like that. Yeah.
mhm. Can you talk to
So and
us?
then
Oh, sorry. Just I.
yeah, so then I started to kind of think about, well, maybe I can share that with other people, and I was looking into um, like training, get trained myself to teach it. Yeah, so that's where
Yes.
it all started.
Hmm. How was it? What was the difference that you noticed in your body, saying post-pregnancy and adding Pilates into the mix?
I noticed a better connection, especially to the pelvic floor and core muscles.
Hmm.
Um, and also some of the balancing one side and the other, like the rotation, because I when I started the course to study Pilates itself, like we did the postural assessment, right? And
Yes.
I had the turn in my torso, a little bit of rotation there. My pelvis was unleveled,
Oh man.
and and yeah, and then I was body for somebody else's exam, and they redid the assessment, and I was like all leveled. It's like
Oh, nice. Yeah.
like, yeah, it's working, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, people don't really even recognize when their body's out of balance,
Yeah, that's true.
you know? So, like, I mean, I think that that's something that when we talk about Pilates and the benefits of it, you may say, oh, well, it'll help bring your body back into balance. And I'll be like, like, what does that mean?
Like, what
Like,
is it?
yeah, exactly,
What is
exactly.
the balance, right?
Hmm. Right. So then, I mean, what would you say, like, I bumped into you on the street and you said, "Oh, I'm a Pilates instructor," and the person said, "Well, what's Pilates? Like, what is your real quick speech on what Pilates is to get people into your studio?"
Uh, Pilates is a type of fitness training that helps you to, get a better posture, to balance your muscle groups, and to have a better balance and flexibility.
Hmm. Nice. And that's
So,
basically what you're saying because of your experience with it in your body. So
yeah.
when we have like I see Damian Lowry's on here and Darren Tickle, there's a few guys actually that I've talked with. Damian hopefully will be on the show at some point, and Darren is a Pilates instructor in the UK. And so, what do you say to the guys who want to find out about this Pilates thing?
For the guys,
For the guy,
it will definitely help with your flexibility.
yeah.
Because I find the guys so much less flexible than ladies.
Hmm.
Yeah. Especially through the back chain, through the hamstrings, and
Yeah.
yeah, but it can help you with the conditioning of the body and just using the right muscles so your body moves more efficiently.
Yes. Yeah. Do you have a lot of guys right now that you work with?
Not a lot,
No,
just my husband.
oh, there you go. So you have your husband work. That was my post yesterday about like working with spouses. So you can successfully
I
train.
saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, my husband has a shoulder dislocation a
Mhm.
few times on the same side, and he's also into karates, and he loves sparring, and that's where, he moves fast. That's where the shoulder and has to pull back.
Yeah.
So that's the like a problem area for him because he has to control, and his shoulder has to be like all those rotator cuff muscles have to be,
Yes.
strong to support the joint itself.
Right.
So yeah, we worked a lot in his shoulder, and he was able to compete in sparring and all that, and he
Oh,
was
there you
like
go.
really
Yeah.
thankful for that.
All right. So let's kind of geek out here for a second on our Pilates work. So what exercises do you prescribe for him or for someone who has like issues like rotation and that instability? What kind of stuff have you done with him?
I've done stuff with on the mat with the small stability ball, and also on reformer, all the arm work, all the shoulder stabilizers, the back stabilizers.
Hmm. So what equipment do you have in your space?
I have a reformer, and I have light equipment like fitness circle, stability ball, weights, resistance band, yeah, resistance loops,
Okay.
things like that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting. The reason why I was asking about the shoulders, when we start talking about Pilates, we always talk about our core and we go to our legs. We don't talk very much about connecting the arms to the powerhouse and that connection as well.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right. It has to be the balance, like upper and lower body. So, and a lot of people also think that core is just your abs, right? Just the front of your tummy,
Yeah.
and which is not really the case. So part of the core, also your back extensors, your glutes, because it's the stability through the whole spine from front and back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So those are the things that, when people come, like I like hearing those trigger points. Okay, oh my shoulder hurts. Oh, well, Pilates can help. Like it's not just like, oh, I'm gonna get a six pack. It's, all those things as well. So
Yeah.
yeah. So how do we, I love seeing the comments from Caroline and others here. Um, so Pilates is a life changer. Do you have wonder chairs? Any chairs in your space?
I have access to the chair at the studio that I teach in Burlington,
Okay.
a lyrical body Pilates studio. Yeah.
Yes.
So it has full equipment. So I work with clients there as well.
Mhm.
So it has Cadillac chair, barrels, and all the reformers and mat.
Nice. Yeah. So what studio is that? Sorry.
A lyrical body.
Lyrical. Okay. Yeah, I think I've seen that one. Nice. So, where did you study where did you do your Pilates?
I studied at Port Credit, the Pilates body.
Oh, yes. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and I did some courses at Stott head office in Toronto.
Yes. So
Yeah.
primarily, not that it's, so primarily like contemporary Pilates. Have you dove into some of the classical work as well?
Um, yes, yeah,
Mhm.
I know some of the certifying bodies are a little bit looking a little bit differently.
Mhm.
I did take Pilates with balanced body instructors and actually used to teach for her as well,
Okay.
the Cornerstone Pilates. And yeah, it's and other studios as well. So it's nice to have that that blend from different, teaching perspective.
Yes.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. And when it comes down to it, it is all about movement for one. And two, from a business perspective, in Milton, who else is there? Like, right? Like, so you kind of have a corner on the market right now.
Yeah, well, not a, you know what, a lot more people know about yoga than Pilates, so it's up to
Yes.
us to educate people what Pilates is and what it can do for your body, right?
Right, exactly. So what's the difference then between yoga and Pilates from your perspective?
That's a good question.
Hmm.
I always like ask, like, is it like yoga, Pilates? Is it like yoga? Well, in some way it is, right? Because we also work on lengthening muscles, but in Pilates, we always cue the engagement. So where that movement should be coming from
Yes.
and where is it initiated, right?
Hmm.
Whether in yoga it's more like a flow, it's more mindfulness, I would say. It's more like going with the flow, how your body is moving today or
Yes.
any other moment.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those of you who are watching, I'd love to hear in the comment section or see in the comment section how you differentiate yoga from Pilates.
Yeah. I like to see how our other instructors would
Well, yeah,
define that, right?
right, exactly. Like I try and challenge, I try and say, how do I explain Pilates without using the word yoga in it? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, because like I want to have some differentiation. I don't want to say, well, it's like yoga, but it's tougher. It's like yoga, but you use your core. It's like yoga, but like that seems to be my opening line. So I'm just curious to find out from other people, what's your like? How do you explain the difference between yoga and Pilates? And while those are coming in, like you said, there's still a concept of, and you know this too, right? Like of mindfulness to Pilates that's there too, right?
It is, yeah. It's that mindfulness and connecting to your body and knowing like where how you're using your muscles, how you're engaging, where you're firing up, and without like compensating for certain movements.
Right,
Because your body wants to do what it's always used to do, right?
right. Yes, exactly. And the breathing part too, right? Where we know with Pilates, he pulled that notion of the element of breathing from yoga as well, right? Like it is really influenced by that. Alexandra Reed is my wife, and she has a comment here. Yoga, there's a little bit of a glare there. Postures were designed to allow the body to be still during meditation. Pilates movements are designed to allow the body to move. So yoga equals postures and stillness. Pilates equals movement.
Hmm.
That pretty much sums it up. And here's the next comment. Breath is different from me and how you're controlling your movement. In Pilates, you would go as far as muscle can take you. Yes, it really is facilitated by the movement. That is like the breath does facilitate the movement. And it's
Hmm.
interesting too with different exercises, how some exercises are breathing exercises. And then there's other exercises where, like for a chest expansion, where you change your breathing as you're doing the exercise, right? So you do like, for example, three, and then inhale for your next three. So the breath facilitates the movement in different ways as well. So yeah.
Or how in the like reformer footwork, you can do like press out on exhale,
Hmm.
right? Or you can press out on inhale and return with the exhale, and that will change a little bit. Like you will feel different because exhale facilitates more of a control. So whether you want to
Mm,
more power and control for the push or for the pull, right, of the
yes.
spring. So it's yeah, it's an interesting concept.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the other parts of that yoga and Pilates dialogue is simply accessibility, right? Because I mean, think about how easy it is to get into a yoga class, how easy it is to find a studio, how affordable it is, and how Pilates has become exclusive in some ways, right? Like it's tough to find, usually costs more. The equipment obviously costs us as instructors more, so we have to kind of pass that expense on. So, Zhana, have you thought about ways to make it more accessible to get more people into Pilates?
Um, that's a tough question because we do use the equipment that is obviously expensive, right? And we have to count that in.
Mm,
So more accessible would be like a combination of one-on-one and group class
yes.
as an
Yeah.
option, right?
Right.
Or it could be like doing starting with the mat with light equipment
Yes.
and then seeing from there like if you add small stability ball, big stability ball, you can do so many things.
Yeah. Yeah. True. We were having a conversation yesterday about group classes and strategies for even teaching a group class. So, um, and I think that that really is it. Combining those private classes and then the group classes. The group classes really help to almost whet people's appetite, right? Or to,
Hmm.
and then if they want to dive deeper, then there's options to dive deeper into it.
Yeah, and it's a different dynamic, right, with the group
Yes,
class.
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Did you do any like group classes or like those community classes and that sort of thing for the area?
Yeah, I do two online classes,
Hmm.
which are group classes, and I used to do the group class in the like in the studio as well.
Yes.
So where people come in and then, you know, they can socialize a little bit more and yeah, but that one is not running yet. Like
Right.
August is like a vacation time for a lot of people and
Hmm.
plus like if few clients don't feel safe to come back to the, you know, in studio
Yeah.
class. So
Well, let's brainstorm for a second. Like, how can we get group Pilates classes running again in this COVID quarantine? We're kind of free but not free time. Like, what do we have to do to make like some open air
make
classes? Like that kind of thing, right? Like, how can we get more bigger, not bigger, but how can we get more classes going for Pilates?
hmm yeah, I think open air like doing
Hmm.
outdoor classes. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an option, but then you depend on the weather, right?
Yeah, totally. Yes.
Yeah, maybe like to have those, you know, conditions in place where they have to distance, keep certain distance between the mats and, you know, clean and sanitize their hands when they come in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sounds like a lot of work.
it does.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I could picture like just taping off, like, like little parking spots for your mats and like, hand sanitizer. But I mean, but maybe that's what it takes now. Like, this is a time when, especially like Milton, right? Like, you mean, have you guys started your like farmers markets and closing the streets down, or is that happening this year?
It's happening, but it's not at the main street. It's another location, which is more like outdoorsy, let's
Yes.
say. And yeah, I haven't been there this year, but it's a nice park. It's Country Heritage Park.
Okay. Yeah.
It's more open space.
Hmm. Yeah. Because I think that that's one of the strategies that we need, just generally speaking, for our Pilates community is like, how do we make it more accessible to more people? Um, so, whether it's those group classes or just like us making the effort to like make all those things happen, to maybe not even get them into the studio or into your home studio, but just to just have more people get more touches, right? Like more people to actually, you know, feel Pilates.
Hmm.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's so true. Are you running any group classes at your place?
not yet. No. So this space is really, really, it's like a 17 by 12. So it's like 200 square feet sort of thing. So it's not a big space. It's more almost for broadcasting and doing more online work and just maybe having one or two people in the space. When I was working with the city of Mississauga, I ran a couple of community classes during the week. And then
Hmm.
once a year we do our fresh air fitness out, at the celebration square. So those were the bigger opportunities and those were the larger classes where I would have those touch points with people. And but yeah, but obviously those like community centers are still closed for fitness classes and that sort of thing. But I still think it just I think we need to do more of that still. Like this is a great opportunity because there's still a lot of people around. There's still people who are scared to go into a gym. Um, so where do we and how do we connect with them and let them see how this can help? Because I mean, like sitting is a new smoking. Like what are people doing right now? They're just
Hmm.
they're just like sitting around, right? So
Yeah, I think people use outdoor time more
mhm,
this summer to stay active.
yeah,
Um, and the weather been really good. Like we had a good summer with, not a lot of rain. So
yes,
considering that all the bikes are sold out in Walmart and
right.
Canadian Tire, like
Yes.
people are outside just
Yeah,
biking and running. Yeah.
absolutely. Zana, when we were talking online earlier, you were talking about goal setting and just helping people to just, progressively move towards their goals. When you have like new clients coming in, do you spend a lot of time sitting down saying like, what are your goals? How do you want to get there? That sort of thing? Is that a part of your practice?
Yeah, I do the initial assessment where I get the clients to move and see how their body is moving,
Okay.
and how strong they are. And then I always ask for their goals, right? So
Hmm.
that's the reason why they're coming to Pilates. Yeah, and then we're working on the plan to work towards the goal.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah. What kind of goals, what kind of things are your people working towards in terms of their goals? Without like disclosing their private information. Like it's like what just generally speaking.
I have a few clients want to release a few pounds,
Hmm.
so weight loss.
Hmm.
I have a number of clients for doing Pilates for that, with the low impact workouts.
Okay.
And Pilates, I feel like it's a good fit for that type of client.
Hmm.
Also doing more, gaining more endurance.
Yes.
So yeah, conditioning and getting a little bit stronger. And also I have a few clients with who had injuries or like body limitations. They have like inflammation in certain parts of the body.
Yes.
And yeah, so we're doing and like they're doing Pilates to basically get a better quality of life. So if they want
Yes.
to go and hike for a while, they can do that without like feeling a lot of pain and tension in the body.
Yes.
So yeah, I love those clients as well because, when you see the difference, like they
Hmm.
couldn't do certain things before, and after working out for a while, they can, enjoy more of life basically.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and that's I always ask that too, like who is your ideal client? Like who would you love to see come in your door for you to work with? Like, yeah.
I love determined clients who are just set to go.
Yes.
And yeah, I actually enjoy a variety of clients, whether it's like weight loss or rehab and working with the past or present injuries.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would also love to get more runners into Pilates.
Oh, that's right, because you do run, right? Like,
I do run, yeah,
yes.
and I've seen a lot of runners with injuries.
Hmm.
and I actually looked at the stats, and it's 65% every year getting
Wow.
injured. So it's more than half. It's a big, big number.
Yes.
And yeah, so I really want to help runners to basically run injury free. And I
Hmm.
think Pilates is a great way because it has that rehab component into it.
Yes.
That's where basically the roots of Pilates, right?
Right.
Rehabilitation and getting your body to the movement.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So
It has a prehab component to it as well.
prehab preventing, you mean?
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So what
I
what would
like
be
that. Prehab.
it's prehab instead of rehab.
Prehab.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. What now,
Good.
so what would you say are some of the common injuries that you see with runners?
A lot of knee injuries, hamstrings are like torn or like super tight.
Hmm.
Ankle injuries, plantar fasciitis, like yeah, IT band, like you
Yes.
the knee injury is most common
Okay.
because like it's the joint in the middle of, ankle and hip, so it's like it gets more compensation from,
Right.
lower and upper body.
Right.
So yeah.
So where do you usually look to then if you have someone who comes in with knee? Do you look to like footwork and what their foot patterns are, or are you looking to their hips for imbalances and torquing and twisting?
Yeah, I look at how the alignment. So when
Okay.
they move, where their alignment is, like are they pronating? Are they rolling the feet inwards, or yeah, is there any rotation through the hips? So where their imbalances are, so that we can address that and fix, so the movement is more efficient and better.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You should have like a Pilates for runners like shtick.
I'm actually recording my first course
Oh,
for,
are
it's
you?
called, yeah, I'm
Cool.
super excited about it. And it's called Running with Pilates.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm gonna release it like the end of this month. Still
Okay.
working on it, have a few videos to like edit and to record. And yeah,
Very nice. Yeah. Are you familiar with Jacqueline Martin in Poland?
no.
Okay, so she's a Pilates instructor. I believe she's like well, she's trained with a ton of different people, Jay Grimes and others, and she I believe she was a marathon runner or a triathlete. So she has a lot of content, a lot of great resources that would probably be beneficial for you and what you're doing. It's almost like
Hmm.
a shameless plug for my core connections. Like that would be a great pairing to have you guys on together. Have Jacqueline in Poland. She lived in BC and then moved out to Poland. She has maybe the first classical Pilates studio in Poland. Um,
Mm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but she's doing that. But she does a lot with athletes, and she ran nationally and professionally, I believe, as well. So a lot of stuff would definitely lend to what you're doing. So I'd love to connect it.
Wow,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll connect the two of you because I'm sure you can learn from her and she can learn from you, and it'd be a match made in heaven.
Oh, yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, so that's very cool. So that is that gonna be like a workshop that you're running, or like an online course, or
It's going to be an online course where, I will be talking about what Pilates is in the
yes,
first place.
right?
So how you can incorporate into the running schedule.
Mhm.
And we cover most common injuries for runners.
Okay,
And then it will be like a series of workouts to address like the cross training
okay,
for runners. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. That sounds great. Nice work.
Yeah.
So, what does life after quarantine look like for you with your business?
Well, it's picking up the pace, definitely.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I'm back to training a little bit more clients. I have new clients coming in, so I'm super excited.
Nice.
Um, yeah, so slowly getting back there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I'm gonna keep the online classes as a good blend, right,
Yes.
to
It's a good
to the
supplement.
business.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
And then how do you get
yeah.
your new
Plus,
clients? Sorry.
um, how do I get? I advertise in a groups on
Okay.
Facebook and also I have the Google My Business page.
Oh, okay.
So
Very good.
they find me on Google.
Oh,
They're
perfect.
searching for local Pilates. Yeah.
Yes. Nice. You have a whole city to yourself. Must be nice.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a few other people. Also, trainers on site, the personal training group out of Milton as well. So there's a few other connections there that we can do a core connection for you with and help you to just get some more referrals and growth there.
yes, I heard about them. Trainers
Mhm.
on site. Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, Rob Foster's been around for a long time doing boot camps and in-home training. Great guy. Had him on the show here as well.
Mm,
And the other thing too that we were talking about earlier was self-care, finding that balance.
yes, that's
Yes.
important. Don't you think so?
I do. I really do. But it's when I say balance, I mean it's like at the same time we're trying to grow our business again, trying to get more people into the space. Think about, like I said, whether it's to get bigger classes going and stuff. So what self-care looks like right now is different than what self-care looked like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago when we're at home a lot, right? So I feel for
Hmm.
myself, I'm trying to find that balance where it's like, okay, maybe push harder in the week and turn my phone off completely on the weekends as opposed to some other strategy, right? So just always recalibrating it.
Hmm. Yeah, that's true. So when we had that a little slow down time, right?
Mhm.
Um, it seemed to be easier to get that self-care time. I'm talking about myself, right?
Yes, yes,
And as an instructor, I think we definitely need to do that because we share a lot of our energy with the clients and you just can't pour from an empty glass,
right.
right? So you
Yeah.
need to recharge your batteries and, do some training. And I value a lot of the instructors that do what they teach. So, and they are my role model. So
Yes.
I do what I teach as well.
Hmm.
And I love it,
Yeah,
right? It
yeah.
keeps me going. It gets me that, you know, feeling in my body that I'm doing good for myself and I can share it with other clients too.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that in your posts, whether you're going for a hike or you're getting a run in or like you're spending time with the
Yeah,
kids.
that's
Like,
part of it.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
right.
part of it. Just getting out there and do what I love doing. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, we do need to make that time to do those sort of things because it's so easy to make excuses for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
so true.
No, that's really good stuff. We just keep talking about you know, how do we find that balance and all those different things. So when we can get that as trainers, we can, continue to just grow our businesses and put our best self out there for our clients.
Yeah. I think it's like it comes down to just planning or scheduling your day
Hmm.
and then setting the priorities. So sometimes you have to put yourself first
Yes.
to have that some self-care time for you.
Yes. Oh no, absolutely. Absolutely. So I know that you had got to go. Like this is like a really like early and abbreviated core conversations, but I just want to let you know that I really appreciate you coming on because it's I love having local people on. I've had some Toronto people on, so this is my second Milton person on. Um, so what would you say? What is your kind of closing thoughts for your like for people who are watching and also for your clients when you're working with your people in your space? Your message right now.
Um, it's a good,
Yeah.
good question. Yeah. So just take care of yourself and keep doing what you do, training, like don't stop and because at the end you will have a better life experience and whatever you do during the trainings and getting yourself in a good shape, like it will help you and your family, there are other people that depend on you. So having a good health and being in a good shape, it's it's gonna change, a lot of things in the future. So yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. So how can we get in contact with you to find out more about your online courses that are coming up?
Um, I have my contact information on the in my bio section.
Mhm.
So I have my email and phone. So you can contact me through there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also have a website, pilatesdifference.com,
Okay.
so you can find more information there.
I'm gonna put that in here in the bottom here. Keep talking Pilates difference.
Yeah, thank you
When
for inviting me because it's my first Instagram live today, and I was like so nervous about it, like, oh, I never done live on Instagram.
it's kind of addictive. You're gonna you're,
Yeah.
I'm gonna see you on the speaking circuit soon, I'm sure. With your Pilates for
Yeah.
runners handle and just your everything going on with that. So nice. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Like, I really love just to chat about goals. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with your Pilates for runners. And anyone I know in Milton, I'm going to definitely point them your way.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'll also link you to Jacqueline. I'll put Jacqueline's contact information in the IG Live, just to mention her,
Hmm.
so you can follow her and learn more about her courses and what she does, and maybe even take a class with her too. That'd be good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's super excited. Wow.
Yeah. She's pretty cool. She really knows her stuff. All right, so I'm gonna sign you off. I'm gonna just keep chatting here for a few minutes. Have a great class at 10, and
All right.
okay, we'll chat soon.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll chat. Bye.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Core Conversations. This organic platform has been made possible by amazing people like yourself. So if you're a Pilates instructor or a movement specialist of some kind and you want to be a guest, please message me. If you're in some other field and the messages just resonate with you, message me. I'd love to have you on. All of our messages connect, and for some reason, they all help us in this battle. We're all in this game together, so I'd love to hear from you. Let your words be life to someone else. Check out our website, personalvictory.ca. Click the Core Conversations page to see who our upcoming guests are, and I will see you next time on Core Conversations.